I'm Ashton from Blockwest Capital for Investment Pitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Prez Thomas, the Chief Meme Officer from DankBank. Prez, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Let's dive into the world of memes in cryptocurrency and DankBank as a platform as well. I'd love to just kick off the conversation just by starting to hear a little bit about what your team has built at DankBank and what are some solutions and how you're bringing memes into blockchain and into the world, really. And then we'll dive into the details.
Yeah. So DankBank is a fractionalized meme exchange. We are in the business of finding people who have created or have been the subject of viral, legendary internet memes, acquiring those memes, minting them as NFTs, fractionalizing them, and then those fractions can be traded on the site. We've seen over the course of the last 2 years that memes in their one-of-one form have always sold for a premium. Collectors recognize them as being very the culturally significant and inherently valuable assets that they are. And so we see memes like Harambe and Coffin Dance selling for millions, and other very prolific memes like Bad Luck Brian, Success Kid, David After Dentist, selling for small fortunes. So the ambition with DankBank is to allow anyone to get exposure to this fairly highly sought after class of these. So we make sure that we get nothing but the purest, most grass-fed, authentic, real deal NFTs. We facilitate some kind of contract with the creator where they're retaining a sizable portion of the float, so they're getting that financial kickback for this asset that has become exceedingly recognizable, that in many cases they've never gotten financial recognition for. So it's a winning proposition for collectors, it's a winning proposition for creators, and it's also very stupid and very fun, which is in my opinion is what crypto is all about. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's super interesting how it came to be, and some of these memes that have become some of the most popular in the world. The people who were the face of the meme, they didn't mean to be a meme at all. Like the Success Kid or Satoshi Nakamoto, old Japanese man, who knows? And now they're famous, and that wasn't the intention. But if you're becoming famous through a meme, you might as well capitalize on that and actually have the ownership rights to the memes and the photos that you're in. So thank God that there's a platform that can do that with DankBank. And you mentioned there at the end about how it's stupid and fun, and that makes me think about Elon Musk and how he was saying that he hopes that Dogecoin becomes the future currency of the world, just because he sees the most ridiculous, funny answer to what would be the world currency should be the truth. It's interesting how he points that out. And now I just want to talk about memes in cryptocurrency overall. It's great to be able to monetize them, but I feel like they've actually had a significant impact in growing the validity of cryptocurrency as well. In Dogecoin, it started out as a meme, but then they funded the Jamaican bobsled team, and they're on NASCAR, and then made it all the way to the richest man in the world, promoting it on Saturday Night Live. And I feel like a lot of positive things have come from that. How do you see meme culture in cryptocurrency and how that blends into crypto culture?
I mean, memes at this point, the digital age, they're really how we communicate. It's a lot easier to convey a lot of ideas through a meme than it is to do so in words. And so it is memes that often make us privy to radical concepts. It was definitely the absurdity of Doge that compelled a man like Elon Musk to put it on a pedestal in the way that it is. I think in the long term, it's kind of the absurdity of cryptocurrency generally. I mean, Bitcoin for a lot of its life was, at least to traditional investors, kind of a meme, a joke. And it was only once that meme reached critical mass and we saw that major adoption in 2018 that people realized, oh wow, this is this is $1 billion asset now. This is not a joke. This is something that can be taken seriously, that makes people life-changing money. And then the other thing is, a lot of people who are in crypto, right? They're young people. They were kind of incubated in the internet. And so memes are an important thing to them personally. They tend to be very nostalgic. I mean, I think for a lot of people in crypto, for a lot of young collectors, and maybe for like the entire living population period, something like a Pepe the Frog is a lot more recognizable than a Rembrandt or a Vermeer. So people put them on that same pedestal. It's like, this is the art that is going to define our generation. I would like to be the person who owns it, so that as we get older and as we get wealthier, and as the significance of this meme becomes greater and it stands the test of time, I'm exposed to its upside.
Yeah, and it's so crazy to think about the meme economy. When memes first came out and people saw funny pictures, who would have thought that the person who actually could take ownership of that picture could be set for life, right? People just think it's a joke. And I feel like the meme economy continues to grow now, and I'm not sure, how to quantify the market capitalization of the meme economy, but maybe DankBank's helping with that. Maybe you can talk about the meme economy and if there is any way to quantify how it's growing.
Yeah, I think the meme economy is really interesting because I think it's a lot older than DankBank. I would say I guess the oldest example we have is there's the subreddit r/meme economy, right? Which is really just a birthplace for the spread of memes, but people discuss memes on r/meme economy, which has around 2 million subscribers. Wow. In the same way they communicate about stocks. When people see a meme template that starts to go viral, they talk about being bullish on it. So there's always been this idea of kind of treating the virality of memes in kind of the same way we treat the volatility of stock. But then you have like GME and BlackBerry and the 2020 like meme stock bubble, where we see for the first time that retail traders can influence prices in the way that like big market makers only been able to do before. And the natural byproduct was that people started pumping money into funny stocks, right? Because it's easy to rally behind that. So I think over the last several years, we've seen money being spent in a mimetic way. In addition to that, we also have meme coins, right? Like Shiba Doge and Will Smith Inu and like Slap Coin, Garlic Coin, like things that actually aren't even really backed by a real meme, but their value is derived from their being funny. So there's this, without question, there are many billions of dollars that are sitting in funny assets. So what we want to do is give people an actual ownership of an actual thing. It's not just you're getting Doge is funny, you're in a community that has it. Now it's you're getting Doge, you're in a community that is funny. But you also own a portion of the actual Doge image. It has that provenance, it's something that you can show to a collector and that has that real inherent value that I think is lacking in a lot of current meme coins. So we're just trying to bring the meme economy to the next level by providing the real memes, the real deal, now that we actually have the technology to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it's really thanks to, NFTs that we're able to capitalize on ownership of these kind of assets. Before with Dogecoin and Bitcoin, you could own the coin, but you couldn't really own an individual meme or item. And NFTs is really the technology that's accelerated that to create the meme economy.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's definitely, I think the desire to invest in memes is older than the technology that has enabled us to do it. Mm-hmm. So the demand is there, the interest is there, the assets are already valuable. That's the fun thing, right? As cool as a Fidenza or an Autoglyph or a Bored Ape is, what's fun about memes is that we're bringing something that people already know and love to the table. Mm-hmm. It's far less speculative, I think, than a lot of what we spend money on in the NFT market currently.
Definitely. And I'm curious on your take on, Twitter implementing NFTs into their profile pictures and now Instagram is going to be implementing it in, and probably all social medias, and all profile pictures and all pictures become NFTs. Do you think that's going to help accelerate the meme part of this as well?
Definitely. Right now, DankBank only deals in legendary memes. Every meme that's on the site and every meme that will be on the site in the near future, you know it, you love it, they're very famous. But the goal is to allow anyone to mint any meme to the site and to really be able to invest in virality as it's happening, not just buying things that have already become famous. Mm-hmm. I think Instagram and Twitter and major social media outlets making people acquainted with NFTs is going to help us get to that point where so much content starts its life on chain that you can, in real time, invest in the next meme as it's going viral. So yeah, I think that's a huge step. If we get to a point where content creators realize that they can make extra money by minting their original content, not just putting it out there and trying to monetize it with ads, that's really where the paradigm shift is going to occur, I think.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned at the beginning about how some of these memes are worth millions of dollars, which is crazy to think. And I saw on DankBank that you can do fractionalization of the NFTs, which I feel is super important, not just for small people who don't have $1 million to spend on one meme, to be able to own a part of it, but also for people who do have, they're the creator or they're a part of the meme, and to bring liquidity to that, to be able to have, the democratized access so that 1 million people can own $1 of that meme, rather than one person owning $1 million meme, trying to find somebody else who will sell, who will buy it for $1 million. So are you seeing that on DankBank, that this fractionalization of NFTs is super important for the growth of the platform and for memes in general?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's really twofold. One is values do go up when many people can get exposure. Instead of finding one collector who has $1 million that they're willing to spend, you can find 10,000 people who are only willing to put in, who only are interested in or can put in a few hundred, but at the end of the day, you come away with a larger market cap asset. But it's also great because when these memes sell as one-of-ones, a lot of times what happens is people will buy it for what seems like a really great price, and then it goes up in value, and then the person who makes the most money is the collector. The great thing about fractionalized memes is that the owner retains a sizable portion of the meme. So if it goes up in value, they continue to see that kickback. It's not just a one-time payment. You're really, making money and eventually making fees kind of in perpetuity. It becomes a far more sustainable and favorable financial model. Especially when you consider, not many people, a lot of people are interested in owning Bad Luck Brian, but not very many people want to wear a Bad Luck Brian t-shirt. There aren't that many elegant ways to monetize a meme. So fractionalization is like a very intuitive and very efficient means of extracting, getting fair value out of the assets that these people have created.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And what kind of investors are you seeing, on DankBank or traders? If you have looked into it, is it just people that are actually just trying to flip NFTs for profit, or is there, genuinely people that just love memes and they're buying it to just own it forever?
I think people are able to rationalize the long-term value in memes a lot more than they can like the long-term value in your typical shitcoin. So surprisingly, we see a lot of small transactions, people collecting small amounts of these memes and just holding them. They find the memes that they already loved in real life, and they just add that to their collection. I think it's because with a meme like Success Kid, Bad Luck Brian, Harambe, they're already almost a decade old. They've proven that they can stand the test of time. So I think it's easier for people to buy it and hold it. And also when you have that kind of emotional, nostalgic connection to an asset, I think people approach it a lot more like buying a piece of art that they would put up in their home because they like it and they want to enjoy it. And it is an investment. It will appreciate it. They'll be able to sell it. But I think people tend to come to the meme economy with less of a flipper mindset. which is nice because I think that's really what distinguishes a meme from a lot of other assets in crypto, is that it's unique and that it has that standing inherent value, that cultural significance. So yeah, we see lots of small transactions, just your typical collectors. I mean, of course, there are the same whales who buy these memes for mammoth amounts and then still hold them. They're also interested. But we were surprised to see how many lay folk came out of the woodwork and wanted to just get their hands on the memes that kind of defined their youth.
Very cool.
You also see communities form around these memes, which is really fun, because you find like two guys who already loved Harambe. They both find out that they own it. And there's like an immediate mutual interest that is really easy to kind of expand upon and build upon. So that's very cool as well.
Very cool. And you mentioned that you can get the most legendary memes on DankBank right now in these fractionalized NFTs, but you're also working on building it out to have more up and coming memes and just more products and services in general. Can you talk about the future for you and your team at DankBank, and what's the plan growing out the platform throughout 2022? Yeah.
I suppose I'm not at liberty to divulge a whole lot, but we have several very iconic memes on the site. We also have many, many iconic memes that are not yet on the site. And for the rest of the year, not only are we looking into ways to reward users with these new memes, but also just to simply expand the meme economy and increase our offering. Not only are we going to bring more NFT-backed coins into the ecosystem, but we're also looking to expand into other memetic assets, with the end goal being to turn DankBank into a place where you can go to invest in memetic assets of all variety, be it backed NFTs, shit coins, fractions of physical assets like Belle Delphine bathwater or e-girl farts in a jar. So we definitely want to, the meme economy is this very massive thing, and what we have on the site currently is just one element of it. I think the newest and most exciting element of it. But our goal is to consolidate the whole of what the meme economy is into one place. So if you want to find out what the next great shitcoin is, if you want to know which memes are being auctioned off next, DankBank is the place you're going to go for that. And then of course we want to, we're working on some pretty exciting incentive programs for traders.
Very cool. And what's the best way for people to follow along with these updates as they roll out and make sure that they stay on top of the new releases for DankBank and just to go on the platform and trade and invest?
Yeah, you can check out the website at dankbank.co. Follow us on Twitter at DankBankHQ. That's where we do most of our announcing, though we are slightly more active and intimate in our Discord, which you can find in the bio of our Twitter.
Sounds good.
And between those three things, you should be very privy to all things meme economy.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the next legendary memes on DankBank, and all the best to you and your team with all the updates you're planning on rolling out. I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. I know you're pretty secretive on what's coming up next, so I'll have to check out the platform on what's available. I appreciate you taking the time. I will leave those links in the description box below for the viewers as well. And all the best with DankBank, and let's follow up in the near future.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on.